Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NORC IndyCar series at Road America for the running of the Road America Duels. Obviously, duels means there's two races on tap today, but they both all add up into one single race, as each race is going to be awarded half points. Each race will be 12 laps, the second one will be ran in late afternoon conditions, and they both will have their own qualifying. So let's take a look at the starting grid for this afternoon's events. On the pole for race 1 is Freddie De La Rosa, and for De La Rosa, this is no surprise, and I don't think anybody would be surprised to see him sweep both races on tap for today. He's very successful on the road side of iRacing, and the league composed of oval racers look for him to be the favorite in all the races today. Starting alongside of him is Sean Williams, number 89. Sean is he's a decent road racer. He's very consistent, and he does not wreck his stuff. He might come out with a good finish today. And third is our championship leader, Anthony Emery. In fourth, Tyler Lugo Vickery in the 24. In fifth, Tom Mercier in the number 41. In the 29 DHL car, in sixth, is Hunter Combs. In the 97 is James Colabali. In the number 8, Josh Robin. In the number 31 is Caden Henry. In the number 74 is John Barry. And in the number 28, rounding out the field of 11 cars, a little bit shorter field today, just because it's a road race, is Cody Miller, the Caddy Goat. And so here we go. We're waiting on the lights, waiting on the race director to give the green. Engines are revving. Here come the lights. As we go to 5 red lights here for the first race of the Road America Duels. And let's lights out, and away we go. Here goes Freddie. He is off the line well. Sean Williams got a horrible start. Emery got a good jump. He is right next to Freddie, and he's going to be alongside of him going into turn 1. Hunter Combs also got a good start. He's going to be up into third. Freddie De La Rosa takes the lead. Anthony Emery follows. Sean Williams drops all the way back to 5th. That's 3 spots he's lost in just the first corner. Heading out of turn number 2, Anthony Emery gets a little bit in the dirt there. Looks like Hunter. Oh, there we got a spinner. It's John Barry, the number 74. He started deep in the field. He's also running for a championship. That'll hurt his chances. Heading into turn 3. Up the hill into 4 under the bridge. Everybody seems to be single file. Oh, we got a spinner and he's wrecked. Oh, and Sean Williams plows right into him. Just as I was talking about how consistent Sean is and how he doesn't wreck his stuff. Looks like Lugo Vickery just got loose there, and I guess he just got a little bit of understeer. Just lost the back end of the car. As we look at Freddie, he has already pulled a very large gap on Anthony Emery in second. They go through the almost flat out kink there. Looks like Hunter Combs has survived. I'm pretty sure he was really close to Lugo Victory when he went around, and he's now survived up into third. Looks like that's Tom Mercier, I believe. James Colabali. There's Josh Robin. There's John Barry. He's all the way back there now. There's 2 cars on pit road. Oh, Freddie's off and Anthony's off. Just like that, we're going to have 3 basically retirees in this race. Remember, I think they do have 1 faster pair. So all these guys who were in the pit should be back on track, but they are out of the race. They are not going to contend with the win for the win. And as this race, everybody's dropping like flies, as we see. Looks like John Barry goes on the inside of Caden Henry there. Looks like Josh Robin just lets him go. He knows he's faster there. As all these guys are dropping like flies, Freddie can almost slow the pace down and just cruise for these 12 laps here en route to victory. Victory. Already on lap 2 of the first race. And so this is really interesting because coming into this race, Anthony Emery was the championship leader. I believe Hunter Combs is right behind him, so Hunter might benefit huge from this first race here. Sean Williams is very consistent, and he's also in this championship hunt. So both Emery and Williams are going to take a huge hit in this first event. And depending on how far John Barry can get backed up there, you know, he's going to lose a lot too, so it might be a huge game for Hunter Combs this first race in a very tight championship battle. There's James Colabale, Century 21 Honda. I think the key today is just going to be, in both races, is just going to be consistent and not wrecking your car. Because it's a graveyard out here, folks. And we see Freddie almost getting the dirt there. A lot of these guys just aren't used to road racing, especially in an IndyCar. If anything, they're used to it in a stock car. We see one car coming off pit road that looks like it's Tyler Lugo Vickery, and Sean Williams is right directly behind him. They are both at least 2 laps down. It looks like they are 2 laps down. It's 10 laps or to go in this race. There's Tom Mercier at 41. I'm not sure where Emery is, or if I'm assuming he got his fast car. He should be back out on track here relatively shortly. He shouldn't be only behind this pack by maybe 20 seconds or so. There's John Barry again. It might have helped that he spun it out, because the field had a chance to get settled, and if he's faster than all these guys by a wide margin, he can get back around like nothing happened and finish maybe on the podium. You never know. I mean, he's already 5th. There's James Colabale right up the road. Very technical corner right there. You're kind of half throttle and hoping the car doesn't push out. I believe there's a little bit of, it got a little bit, little air under your car, I guess you could say. It just got really light in that corner. It just gets really light in that corner, and it kind of wants to spin. A surprise, really, so far. Obviously, look at the huge gap that Freddie has already built on Hunter. But a bit of a surprise for Hunter to be running second. Road racing is not really his thing. Short track driver in real life. See, look at how far back he is. That is a good 10 seconds back. Colabale looks like he's keeping a decent pace. You never know, he might be able to pass Hunter. Looks like his RPMs are low. Maybe he spun out there in that final corner. Folks, I'm not gonna lie, this race is probably not the most entertaining. If any other IndyCar race we did, they're all fantastic. And oh, we got a spinner. And just as I was talking about Hunter Combs having a good run, surprisingly, it looks like he just dumps it. I think he's okay though. I don't think he hit anything. It looks like his car's alright. He dumps it off in turn 4 up the hill. Looks like maybe just what happened. Oh, John Barry's loose on exit. Looks like just what happened to Lugo Victory might have happened to him. Just comes up there with too much speed and spins it out. Let's see if Hunter Combs has any pace to get by John Barry. I'm pretty sure technical issues prevented Barry from creating a decent lap in qualifying. That's why he started on the back end of the field. I would consider him the second biggest threat to Freddie LaRosa, although Freddie's kind of off in his own world. As we see, he's already at the start-finish line while they're just exiting turn 9, I think that is. You're not even going to see any cars behind him in this shot. Here's the second place car now. That's James Colabale after Hunter Combs wrecked it in turn 4. And like I said, look, John Barry is back on the podium now in 3rd position. I don't really know where he is, but Anthony Emery has to be somewhere around here. He is still ahead of Shawnee Williams, who just went by, so I don't think he's a lap down yet. Like I was saying earlier, folks, this is probably not the most entertaining race to watch. All the oval races that the NORC IndyCar Series does, they're fantastic. They're very entertaining. Lots of pack racing this season so far. But this one, this is road racing. And if you've been an avid watcher so far of this series on this channel, you know, I have to break it to you that this is not going to be the best race to watch. It will probably go down as the worst race entertainment-wise to watch. But you know, I always love watching road cars just go left and right, navigate the corners. But sometimes it's just a change from just taking left turns and going in circles all the time. It's very interesting to see drivers' techniques and how they attack different corners and their skill levels. I mean, obviously Freddie is miles ahead of the field today in terms of I wouldn't say talent, because a lot of these guys have talent and I'm sure they could develop a road skill if they wanted to, but in terms of being used to the road racing, this is definitely Freddie's playground. Looks like Revan is slowly, or John Barry, call him Revan. John Barry is slowly catching James Colaball in number 97 Century 21 Honda. That'll be a great comeback after a lap one spin, getting back on the podium. Not just back on the podium, but getting a second place finish in that Oculus Rift DW12. With the draft now, he's in his wake, so he might have a chance to grab him here at turn 3. He goes deep. James Colaball is just going to move over and let him take it. Very bold move by John Barry. Great overtake. Sean Williams, it's a shame that he was out so early, because I mean, he's keeping relatively good pace with these guys, so if he wouldn't have got wrecked out early, he could be on pace for a podium right now. Oh, we got a car off. Who's that? Oh, that is Anthony Emery. We finally find him as he goes right through the DRS sign. Welcome to iRacing, everybody. And he's destroyed. The nose is completely off his car. He's going very slowly. I think somebody's behind him. Who is this? I think that's Tom Mercier. He's going extremely slow. I think he's trying to get back to the pits. The whole back end is screwed up. He's wobbling. Josh Robin back here. He's in the dirt. Running a relatively modest race. Hasn't gotten anything yet. Definitely not the greatest road racer. He does ovals, and I think that's all he cares about is ovals. Ovals and potatoes. That's all Josh Robin cares about in this world. I wish iRacing had intervals, because I want to see how much faster Freddie is every single lap compared to second place John Barry at the moment. Not sure if Tyler Lugo Vickery is on the track at the moment, but I think he is retiring. Anthony Emery, he's going to be retired because he already used his reset up after he binned it in the final corner on lap 2. Oh, we got a spinner. I don't know if we're going to get a shot on that. I heard somebody spinning in the background. I guess not. There's Caden Henry. Going really wide. There's that wonderful fast king. Caden looks like he's kept his stuff clean so far. Now, we haven't seen anything of Cody Miller. He was the 11th car in this race. I do not think he started this race. He might show up in the second half of this duel. We got Caden going really wide in the last corner. Sean Williams, that's not for position, but he will overtake him. I think that's Mercier behind them both. Look in on Sean's helmet, the Mr. Bean helmet. Josh Robin once again, they're very separated now. Completely different sides at the track at this moment. As it stutters a little bit. This obviously isn't the latest scan of Road America. I'm assuming it's a while old. But it's interesting how these there's different patches of the surface, especially in the corners, that are newer than others. Like right there. Or that might be a shadow. That is a shadow. Pardon me. But in turn 2, for example, I think there's one right here, is there? No, there isn't one right here, but one in turn 2, where there's a darker stretch of pavement in the middle of the corner. There it is right there. There's 3 or 4 places on the circuit where they have little patches of pavement like that. There is that DRS sign for F1 cars, but in these cars there is no DRS. There is push to pass, but I don't think we're using it in this series. Driver goes really wide. He's actually not as far behind as I thought. He's keeping okay pace with Freddie LaRosa. We only got 4 laps to go in this first race. If Freddie wins, he will be awarded half points. So I believe that would be, as Revan goes really wide here, if there's 40 points, I think there's like 40, I'm pretty sure there's like 40 points, then he would get awarded 20 plus bonus points for leading laps. Looking in on James Colabon. See, there's another patch right there of asphalt. It's a lot newer. We're just finding stuff to talk about. There's not that much action going on at the moment. That is why they decided to split this up into half races and award half points. Because, you know, if we're only on lap 8 right now, think of it as a 24-lap race, how spread out the field will be. So it's going to be great that we're going to get another start here shortly. And another chance for some more actions, maybe some more good overtakes. And the track, since it's going to be late afternoon, the second race is going to have much more grip than it had in the first race. So it looks like Lugo Vickery has retired from the race, so is Hunter Combs. He's not coming back out on track. Oh, we got a spinner, Sean Williams in the last corner. Nothing's hurting him, though. He's not currently in any position. The next spot up is Josh Robin. He's miles ahead, from what I know. Caden Henry, I believe he did get in some incident and he did come down pit road because he's currently behind Sean Williams. I guess we didn't see that. It's a 4-mile track, so we're not going to catch everything. Only 3 to go for Freddie, about halfway through lap number 9. This is that really technical section where you're not braking at all in that section, but you just gotta be real careful on the throttle. The car can get light and it can spin out. Really fast kink. Full throttle all the way through here in the hard braking zone. Down at the Canada corner. Freddie he makes it look so easy. Just navigating the corners, hitting every apex, hitting every rumble strip, just perfectly pushing the car to the edge at the moment. He doesn't have to, that's just what he naturally is doing at the moment. Coming up on a little bit of lap traffic, I think that is Josh Robin ahead up the road. Currently, I think we have 7 cars on track. A little bit in the dirt there. That is Josh Robin right up the road, right ahead of him. He will go 1 lap down. Josh is still 5th, so and he is running for a championship here. So that'll get him some valuable points if he can hold on to it and maintain it for these final 2 laps. Oh, Freddie LaRosa, he spins it out. We saw him go wide earlier. He's not gonna lose anything major because he has a pretty large gap. There's John Barry. John Barry actually looks like he is catching De La Rosa. We obviously don't have intervals, so we couldn't see what that pace is, but he looks like he's been closer than ever now. Obviously with the spin, but before the spin, he looked like he was gaining on him. We don't know how hard Freddie De La Rosa is pushing, but for race 2, if John Barry can qualify better, it'll be interesting. And who is that? That is Anthony Emery, and he's slow again. What? Is he just rolling around at this pace this whole time and we haven't noticed it? Huh. Well, look at how far Freddie LaRosa is up the road. Should head on to the last lap of the race. John Barry still not in a shot, but he is closing. Obviously will not have enough time. There's Revin, John Barry. He might have went off track while we were covering Freddie because he looks like he's farther behind than he was a lap ago. At this point, just roll to a finish is what should be suggested. We're not really talking about it, but a good podium finish for James Coulibaly if he can make it around. Here he is right here. Actually has Tom Mercier right behind him. Tom is going awfully slow. Looks like somebody got loose. Maybe locked up the brakes there. We heard it. A battle for the final podium spot. Really fast turn 5, down to 6. They go under the Johnsonville Speedwell sign. There's Anthony Emery still pacing around here at a slow pace. And off the final corner, a great drive. Expected by many, Freddie LaRosa picks up race 1 here at Road America. That is full half points awarded to him. As he just parks it off to the side. No need for big celebration. There's the lap cars going by. John Barry gets started. Oh my gosh, we have death here in turn 1. Looks like Caden Henry just decided to kill Josh Robin. Oh my. Somebody, Jimmy Johnson did. And as we look back at the finish for final podium spot, it's going to be close. James Coulibaly moves out of the way to try to get the wake off him, but he will hold on that spot regardless. He wants to join the death too. Everybody wants to join the death. Everybody, Jimmy Johnson, sit right into the barrels. We got more coming in here. Sean Williams, a 5th. Jimmy Johnson. That's worse. My goodness. Let's see if there's any more. Maybe Anthony Emery and his slow car will come off the final corner. I think Sean Williams, he's on top of the barrels. Huh. So here's the final results. Freddie LaRosa takes the win. Sean Barry and James Coulibaly on the podium. Tom Mercier in 4th. Good run for him. Lap down cars of Josh Robin, Sean Williams, and Caden Henry. Anthony Emery, he did disconnect, so he did eventually get off the track. Hunter Combs, he was having a good run until he bended it in turn 3. He's going to finish 9th. Tyler Lugo victory in 10th. Alright, so here we go for race number 2. On the pole is John Barry in the number 74. Good comeback, good recover from race 1. Almost the opposite, as he started almost dead last on the grid due to some connectivity issues. Right alongside him will be championship leader. Well, actually, he might not be the championship leader after the first race. We'll have to see how he does in this race. Anthony Emery, that is him in 2nd place in the 44. In 3rd, Sean Williams. Looking for some better luck here in the 2nd race. Hopefully, he hopes he can, do better and get a podium finish in this one. Starting 4th, looks like that's Caden Henry Oaks back there in the number 31. Alongside him, Freddie LaRosa in the number 72. And that is your top 5 so far as we get ready for lights out. Alright, so here we go for race number 2. Let's wait for lights. The lights have come on. Oh, John Barry jumped to start. He should just get going at this point. He's not going to. Emery's just going to, looks like he's going to storm right past him. Very horrible start for John Barry. That's going to be a pass through for him. That's going to be a stop and go. We see, it looks like that's Freddie LaRosa making some bold moves. James Colabali gets loose. Saves it, and Emery is pulling away. Freddie LaRosa already up to 3rd. John Barry is right next to him. He will have to go. Oh, we got a spinner. That's Josh Robin. He spins it right around. Back on track. There's a little pack here. There's going to be 3 wide. Freddie has to avoid. He has to take evasive action. He's going to go to the outside. James Colabali is spinning out. There's so much action here, folks. I can't keep up with it. Caden Henry, after starting 5th, looks like he's had a horrible start. He might have a little bit of damage from what I can see on that front wing. So there's Anthony Emery. He's already way ahead of 2nd place. By the way, Hunter Combs is not in this race, so that's points he's missing out on in this championship. Very fast kink right here. With even more grip now that we're in late afternoon conditions. The track temps are cooler. So we're going to be looking here most likely for John Barry right there. As you see Sean Williams going down the inside for what would be 3rd place, because John Barry has to come in for that pass through. I'm not really sure why he jumped the start there. Maybe he just, obviously it was John Barry's wrecking. He's not coming into pit yet. Did it not give him a penalty? As he loses 2nd place at the moment. There's Tom Mercier. He's racing with Sean Williams. Down the inside, he will have the preferred line here going into 1. We'll take that position. That's P number 3, but it looks like we got more dirt heading on up here. More dirt being kicked up. Somebody went off track slightly. There's Freddie LaRosa after getting around John Barry. After John Barry almost lost it in the final corner, he is already making a lot of ground on Anthony Emery here. Emery, a championship leader. He just wants to be consistent, maybe get a podium, add as many points as he possibly can towards his championship run, and not really worry about the race win today. He's not the greatest road racer. He knows that. Ovals are more of his thing on iRacing. So go into the Johnsonville Speedville sign. Into the very technical section. Lots of throttle control here like we talked about earlier. It might be flat out here at the end of that corner where the rumble strips are on the inside lane because of the late afternoon conditions. Look at how much time De La Rosa made in just that one corner. He might try to make a move here at Canada corner. Down the inside. Very bold move. Freddie's going to hold on to it. New leader, 72 car. So all the way from 5th, only took him a lap and a half to get up to the lead. Looking for the sweep here as expected today. Going a little wide on the final corner. Emery does too. So is John Barry going to come through free for a pass through, or what's going to happen here? If he hasn't come in already, I'm going to assume that he didn't get a penalty, or that the admins cleared it for him, that he started a second later after he jumped the start. Very similar orange car in this race, I think, in the very back. I don't know who that is. We saw him at the beginning. Maybe it was just a little bit of a tent on the late afternoon features. Let's see here. Sean Williams is currently quite a ways behind Tom Mercier now, so that's what we assume would be the third podium spot if John Barry has been cleared by the admins. I'm not sure. Yeah, so we just got word that John Barry was cleared by the admins right there. So that means that John Barry is no longer going to have to come in for a pass-through, and he now is in that third podium spot at the moment, which is good for his championship hopes because he is in on the championship. And Hunter Combs, who was in the first race, got second to last place in ninth. He's not in this race, so he's losing out on championship points. I think he's behind Hunter Combs, John Barry is at the moment, and so that should help him. It looks like right here, Josh Robbins just going to let Colabola go right by. Colabola not having as much success as he did in the first race, 7th place compared to 3rd place in the first race. Freddie LaRosa is not currently in a championship situation here. He has only made 3 starts, I think, on the season, and there's only 2 drop races, 1 drop race. Actually, I take that back, 1 drop race. So he virtually has no chance of the championship here. He's only in it to win races. John Barry trying to find a way around Anthony Emery. Looks like these two are very evenly matched. Could be a battle that goes all the way to the end. Tom Mercier, and there goes John Barry. He just loses it, just overdrives it into the corner, goes off track there. There's Tom Mercier. He's having a very modest run, a very good day so far. Tom currently has only made 1 start on the season so far. And if you're wondering how the point standings are looking before the first race today, Anthony Emery has a 4-point lead on Hunter Combs, and Sean Williams is actually tied with Hunter Combs with 240, and Anthony Emery has 244. John Barry has 226. He's still very in the championship battle. Aaron Smith, who is not here today, is in 6th. We did mention Caden Henry. He's still in the championship battle too. But Aaron Smith, who's in 6th, he's not here in this race. So will be either his drop race, and with him already out of the championship hunt, almost 40 points behind. Almost 40 points behind the championship leader. With this drop race being his drop race, it looks like he's out of it. So this is essentially came down to a 5-person race, and with a lot of ovals, with all the ovals remaining on the schedule being mainly races that we could expect pack racing to be very likely, this championship is up for anybody. This is up for grabs still at the moment. Tom Mercier, as John Barry's made a couple mistakes here, Tom Mercier could catch him, because Tom Mercier looks like he's being very consistent today as he goes wide. Of course they'll go wide just when I say that, just because. Somebody who I'm a little surprised doesn't have quite as much speed as I thought he would is Sean Williams. I thought he would at least be faster than Tom, maybe even John Barry. James Colabola is not backing up his run very well either. He's still running 7th, and this is only an 8-car race, by the way. We had Lugo Vickery, Hunter Combs, and Cody Miller not show up for the second event. Like I said, this race is not expected to bring a ton of people. We wanted to throw a road race into this NORC IndyCar series just because, you know, these cars in real life, they do race on road courses quite often. I believe it's pretty much 2/3 of their schedule is road courses nowadays in a series that used to be completely ovals. So we wanted to include at least one race, one track also that is relevant to the competitors. I don't know why I'm saying one race. We forget about Watkins Glen. So there is 2 races. Watkins Glen was also won by Freddie De La Rosa. So we wanted to include 2 races, Watkins Glen, which they go to in real life, and they also go to Road America. And these tracks are also the most familiar, most likely, to these drivers, besides Sonoma. But they don't run the same Sonoma course as the NASCAR oval cars do. So this is the track that we could consider to be most familiar with a lot of these oval guys. We didn't want to throw a track at them that was totally foreign, like Virginia International Raceway or Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So this is what we landed on. And for people in the championship, like Sean Williams, this has to be considered a huge opportunity for their championship chances. Because if you're consistent on these road courses with these oval guys, once they've been out, once half the field bins out, you're gaining all those points. This last race solidified. We were past the halfway point. So this is kind of like we're just getting into the second half of the season. It's a short season, only 11 races, as John Barry is slowly getting closer to Anthony Emery. Here we're almost halfway through race 2. See if John Barry looks like what I think he will do is he will stay right here behind Emery through the final corner and try to get a wake off of him, as Freddie is now coming across the line now. Try to get a wake off of him and maybe pass him entering turn 1. There's Freddie. Oh, he's a little wide. Oh, he's wrecked it. Freddie's up and over, and that's going to end his chances of winning the race. So the sweep is no more. This is the race for the lead. Right at the perfect timing as they go past the wrecked car of De La Rosa. He has a fast repair, but essentially he's out of the race because with towing time, either he tows or he drives it back around, he's out of it. He won't have enough time to catch these two, for sure. He's definitely going to lose that podium spot too as we check in on the lead again. Going down into turn number 3. Emery takes it right back. So, with these two guys being so evenly matched, I'm going to say that Tom Mercier is in the best spot right now. If these two guys wreck, Tom Mercier could win his first ever NORC sanctioned event. And these two could very well be championship rivals. By the end of the season, the way the points are shaping up, John Barry's only less than 20 points behind, and after last race, he certainly gained 6, maybe more points on Anthony Emery here. John Barry is winless so far this season. Emery won the first ever race at Kansas, the night race. He battled with battled with Steve Baker to the end. Pretty much dominated that race, led the most laps in it. But since then, we haven't really seen anything from him. He got wrecked out. He wrecked himself out in Homestead after a bold move of Josh Robin. He's just put together some consistent finishes here. We haven't seen his dominating form though yet. There's Caden Henry. He looks like he's bended off the final corner. Looking for the crane, I guess, to go get him. These guys are pushing each other extremely hard. John Barry's right on the rear end of Anthony right now. They go through the very throttle-sensitive section. Emery looks like he got a better exit. John Barry was a little bit wide. Emery hit the apex. So go through the wide open kink and down to Canada corner. I feel like if John Barry can just catch the wake and just pull on the inside, maybe in Canada corner, there's a couple passing zones. You have turn 1, obviously. Down the hill into turn 3 is an option. Down the hill also into turn 5 is an option. Oh, John Barry! He was looking for an opportunity. He saves the car, but he thought he could make it happen, and it just didn't work. He lost it under brake. He almost ran into Emery, and that's, like I'm saying, Tom Mercier, I feel like, is in the best position as we go here with 4 to go. I think Tom's in the best position because if these two guys wreck out, he's going to be a race winner. I don't think we've seen Tom get loose like that or anything as he goes wide again, John Barry. With each time he does that, I think he might be faster than the 44, but each time he does that, he has less of a chance of getting him here with only 4 to go. We haven't seen Emery go off track yet or really have a moment here. Been fairly consistent, and I guess Caden's just still waiting for that crane here. Looks like it's having a little bit of a hard time getting around this circuit. Sean Barry, he's trying so hard. He's just, I think he's losing his focus. He sees the time running out. I think it's time for him to just put his head down and just start running some solid laps. Because hoping that Emery will mess up is a pretty decent strategy when all these guys are over racers. Everybody is making mistakes out here today. So in what was a pretty unexciting first race here today, the second race has been pretty interesting. We thought Freddie, as we see John Barry, oh, he bended. Killed the left side of his car, or the right side of his car, hit the barrels. Tom Mercier here might get the second spot away. 3 laps to go here for Emery in race number 2, looking for his second victory on the season. See if this car has any speed in it. I think he knows now the race win is completely not possible as he goes wide once more. Tom Mercier, with that damage, Tom Mercier might be able to pass him here. Looks like John Barry might be a little bit off pace as they go down to turn 3. He continues to just go off the circuit. Goes wide here. Locks up the brakes. Very unusual. We don't see John Barry be this inconsistent, and on road courses he's shown that he can drive, especially in the NASCAR, the NORC NASCAR iRacing series. Here's James Colball, not able to back up his successful run in the first race. He is currently 5th. That's going to be significantly less than what he expected here after that podium result. Because of the amount of cars that we have today, an 8th place finish isn't horrible. An 8th place finish is still going to give you a good amount of points, even though they are half points. But in both races, relatively extremely small car counts, 11 cars and 8 cars. So no matter where you finish, you're getting a lot of points here. And for the 6 guys that are still in contention, I should say 5 guys now, since Aaron Smith is not here with us today. But the 5 guys that are still in contention for the championship, it's great. People like Sean Williams, and he does this all the time, he realizes that the people will wreck out. It happens every single race, and there will be opportunities to get track position and get where you need to be to have a good points day and contend for a championship. And in a season-long points race, for somebody like him, that's a good strategy. because he's not going to go out and dominate races. We've never seen Sean do that, but we always see him get fantastic finishes, and sometimes in races that he did not run well in at all, but he usually always comes out with a decent finish. And even if he get wrecks, even if he gets in a wreck, he always comes back on the track and gets as many positions as possible. He's still, as revving. John Barry goes wide again.
User was moved to your channel. User left your channel.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but some random joined my channel. Alright. There's a mistake there. The first mistake we've seen so far. It's not really going to cost him much. He went straight through the grass. That's really the first mistake we've seen out of Emery in this race so far. Man, see, that's what we were talking about. John Barry, as we head on to what should be the final lap of the event. If John Barry could just sat behind Emery and just waited and be a little bit more consistent, instead of pushing so hard, he could have had a moment like that and took the lead. And there it is. On the last lap, Tom Mercier going for his best ever NORC finish here in second place. And finally does get around John Barry with that damage. You can see it on the straights, especially on this straight. John Barry is a lot slower than Tom Mercier with that damage. Looks like his wing is a little crinkled up on that one side. The side pod is a little bit damaged. The crane people still waiting on, Kane's still waiting on the crane people to get there to tow his car away. Up, there goes John Barry, and he's into the fence. Up and over and on his lid. You know, he was pushing so hard those last couple laps, and Kane just got, he's just tired. He's ready to move. He's ready to move. He's tired of waiting on the crane, but John Barry, so many times he could have just been a little bit more consistent and just waited, been more patient, but he pushed it to the limits for most of the race, and at the end of it, trying to get that last podium spot's going to pay the price in this championship. Although I believe the worst he can get at the moment is 5th. That's going to hurt him. As he comes off the final corner, Anthony Emery's going to win race 2 here at Road America, the championship leader. After a pretty poor first race, that should help his championship lead and should help it maintain. Tom Mercier and Shawn Williams, like I said, looks like Caden Henry, and who is that? John Barry? That can't be John Barry again. I think there's Freddie De La Rosa back there. Trying to figure out who that is. Shawn Williams will come around and get 3rd place, a podium position. Great run by him. James Colaboy will come home in 4th. I think the worst position John Barry can get. Keep calling him Revin. Worst position he can get is 5th, and he's trying to get back to the line to end this race. James Colaboy going to come home in 4th, a 3rd and a 4th. Good day for him. Josh Robin. I think this is going to be, actually this should be 5th for him from what I believe. There's John Barry. Coming through, I believe, Canada corner. Surprised that thing's drivable, to be honest. So when he comes around to the line, I think if he did lead a lap, he might have led that one. No, I take that back. He did not lead a lap today. So he lost quite a few points here. You see his right rear is dragging tire marks off the racetrack. He'll come across the line for a 6th place finish, looks like. Caden Henry Oaks and Freddie La Rosa were a lap down. Freddie obviously wrecked it out of the lead, and Caden was waiting on the crane that never quite got there for him. Is there death here in turn 1 again? Nope. John Barry just spins it out. Pretty bad day for him. Well, and we knew death was somewhere. It's the IndyCar series. As we look at the final results, Anthony Emery, Tom Mercier, Shawnee Williams on your podium. James Colaboli, Josh Robin, 4th and 5th. John Barry, bended it on the last lap. He's in 6th. Could have a podium.
Moved to your channel.
Moved him out.
User was moved out of your channel.
We got a bunch of retards in our team speak. If you heard that, people keep joining my channel. And Freddie LaRosa 7th. Caden Henry Oaks 8th. Good points day for Emery and Sean Williams. John Barry could be considered as well. So that's pretty much it. The second race was pretty entertaining, I must say. The first race was wouldn't say entertaining. There was some parts that were somewhat entertaining, but it's road course racing. It's the reality of what we thought we were going to see, what we expected to see today. Thankfully, the rest of the season is all on oval, so prepare for excitement for the entire rest of the season. I'm pretty pumped. It's going to be a good championship fight to watch all the way down to the end, especially the way the pack races. I mean, we have pack racing to where on the last lap you could be leading, and the way pack racing works, everybody knows how it goes. You could be leading, and by the end of the last lap, you're 15th. So we've seen a lot of action this season on the ovals, and thankfully the rest of the season is on ovals. The next race is at Chicagoland. It's 100 laps. We finish off the season with 4 more races, including Chicagoland. Vegas is after Chicagoland. Then we got Atlanta and Auto Club to end the year off. Should be a pretty fun ending. And thanks for joining us today. I filled in for our main commentator today. And so this was a first for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Love y'all.